Hello, my name is Dr. Sharma Elder Health, and I am currently 70 years old. For over 5 decades, I've had the opportunity of strolling beside over 10,000 senior individuals from Varanasi's Sangha banks to Delhi's bustling streets, Lucknow's tranquil alleyways, and Chennai's temples. And today, I'd like to share with you something that possibly no one has ever had the bravery to utter aloud. Before we begin, I'd want to know where you're joining me today. Please leave a remark and feel free to ask any questions you have. Also, don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications so you never miss out on the finest health ideas from Elder Health. And if you're watching right now, I'd like to know you're with me. If this video resonates with you, type 1 in the comments section. If not, type 0. Have you ever boarded a bus in the morning only to discover that the seat beside you remains empty? Perhaps your grandchild no longer wants to sit in your lap as he once did. Perhaps your daughter-in-law opens the window, continually stating, "Just to get some fresh air in." But haven't you secretly wondered, might it be? This is how I smell now. Allow me to speak the truth gently and honestly. Over 99% of persons over the age of 60 develop a distinct odor that comes with aging. However, most of the elderly are unaware of this. Those around us, however, are acutely aware of the situation. And because they care, they remain mute. That quiet is what makes us feel ignored and separated without knowing why. If you're still watching, I believe you deserve to wake up every day feeling refreshed, confident, and close to your loved ones. Let me tell you a sad but very real story. It is about Dave Raj, a 72-year-old guy who lives in Pune. Rameshi was consistently neat and disciplined. Every morning he bathed in warm water laced with neem leaves, swept the courtyard, and lit a little diya in front of the family temple. Nobody could ever call him careless or messy. But one afternoon his son invited some friends over for tea. While cooking masala milk in the kitchen, Rameshi overheard a whisper from the living room. "Oh, this old man has a weird odor." He froze. The spoon remained in his grasp. That sentence slashed through his self-esteem, which he had defended with pride his entire life. From that day forward, whenever his grandson visited Rameshi, he would no longer sit with him to have samosas or converse. Instead, he remained silently in his room, appearing to be preoccupied with listening to the children's laughter outside, while his heart gently contracted. If you're watching this video, perhaps you've pondered if this could happen to you as well. And, as you have kindly stated, that sensation may not be incorrect. But this is not your fault. My name is Anand Mehra, and I've been treating thousands of elderly people from Gujarat to Tamil Nadu for the past 50 years. And I'd want to convey a truth that most doctors don't discuss. Yes, the odor of aging is real. However, it is not caused by improper hygiene practices. After the age of 60, our bodies begin producing a peculiar fatty substance known as nonenal. You may not smell it, but people around you do, and they occasionally pull away without knowing why. Sunita Ji from Ahmedabad told me, with tears in her eyes, "Doctor, my grandchild will no longer sit on my lap." It breaks my heart. I gave her an extremely simple solution. Washing 2 specific parts of the body thoroughly for 3 minutes every day will eliminate odor by up to 90%. Over 1,000 of my patients have taken this advice. Within weeks, the warmth of their families returned, as did the hugs, smiles, and togetherness. Last week I met Farooq Bhai, 88, who used pricey Atta fragrances on a daily basis. But his kid continued to open the window every time he entered the room. I have to tell him the truth, Farooq Bhai. It's not the perfume. Fragrance cannot mask the underlying odor. It only makes matters worse. So please, my dear elder, don't hide it anymore. Remove it from the root. In this video, I'll show you just how. If you found this helpful, please like the video, leave a comment to let me know you were listening, and subscribe to the channel. Each week, I'll share simple, heartfelt methods to be healthy, joyous, and profoundly connected to your family. Thank you. Before you hurry to find solutions to remove the stench of aging, let me, Dr. Anand Mehra, to tell you something from the heart. That stench is not indicative of poor hygiene. It is the natural result of three silent changes that occur in the body after the age of 60. First, the body starts to sweat less. That may sound like a good thing, after all. Who likes to be sweaty? But, in actuality, sweating is the body's natural method of releasing impurities. When you don't sweat sufficiently, waste products remain trapped under your skin, softly producing a stench. I remember Savita ji from Varanasi asking me, "Doctor, I don't sweat at all. But my grandson still says, I smell." I gently told her that when your body stops sweating, the poisons remain inside you. Second, your skin produces a new chemical known as nonenal and oxidized fatty acid. It does not exist in young people. However, beyond 60, it greatly increases, and that is the primary cause of what many refer to as the old people smell. No matter how aromatic your soap or how pricey your clothing, it will not remove nonenal, because nonenal is found deep within the skin's oil glands, not only on the surface. Third, the salivary glands weaken, causing the mouth to dry out. Saliva is your body's invisible gatekeeper. It helps keep the mouth clean and the breath fresh. When your mouth is dry, odor-causing microorganisms multiply rapidly. That's when you start to feel cautious about talking to your kids or grandchildren. Leela G from Surat once told me, "Doctor, I can smell my own breath when I speak." It makes me humiliated. I nodded, because I know it's a really real sensation. Many older persons face the same situation. These three modest changes may appear insignificant, but they are potent enough to make a previously confident individual feel distant and self-conscious. But here's some good news. This is totally manageable. You may restore comfort and intimacy simply by recognizing the underlying causes, making a few minor daily modifications, and, most significantly, learning to correctly clean three key parts of the body, which I will describe briefly in this video. If anything I've given here resonated with you, please leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. That's how I'll know you're still here, choosing to live well and cheerfully, not letting body odor prevent you from hugging the granddaughter you adore. Most elderly people, including ourselves, take our regular baths with great care. We heat some water in the morning, mix in a few tulsi leaves, and maybe add a little ubtan or a light soap if we think it's enough. But there's one thing most of us don't realize. We frequently wash, but we miss the areas where body odor hides. I refer to them as the three hidden zones, areas of our bodies that account for about 90% of age-related odors, but are frequently cleansed too hastily or neglected entirely. The first zone includes the skin folds behind the neck, underarms, breasts, navel, groin, elbows, and behind the knees. These places remain warm and humid, providing an ideal environment for bacteria to flourish and generate odor. Many elders believe that a warm water bath is sufficient. However, if these creases are not gently scrubbed every day, the scent will resurface. I recall Meena Ji 66 from Hyderabad. She told me, "Doctor, Sahib, that I had never washed my underarms or under breast area adequately in my life. But after only 1 week of following what you suggested, my grandson hugged me again. I felt quite emotional." The second zone includes hair beneath the arms, chest, belly, and most importantly, the scalp, hair traps, sweat, and oil. And if we don't massage and clean correctly, the smell permeates into pillows, towels, and garments without our knowledge. As Raju from Bhopal once said, "Just massaging my scalp and washing my hair." The scent has subsided, as you mentioned. My granddaughter's even playing with my hair again. The third zone includes the feet. We wear shoes all day, especially in hot places like Delhi and Mumbai, and sweat gets trapped between the toes and socks, resulting in a distinct odor. Suresh G68 informed me that I now wash my feet correctly, dry them well, and wear clean cotton socks. My daughter-in-law no longer wrinkles her nose when entering my room. Another area that many people overlook is the middle of their back. It's difficult to reach, but our clothes absorb sweat on a daily basis. Clean this area gently with a long-handled brush or by twisting a towel behind your shoulders. One tiny tip: Use warm water between 38 and 40 degrees Celsius, not too hot. Always use a mild soap. After showering, apply a small amount of coconut oil or moisturizer to keep the skin smooth and prevent cracking, as dry skin can acquire an odor. Spending a few extra minutes each day caring for these 3 hidden zones will restore your sense of freshness, confidence, and connection to your family. If this message moved you, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can catch up in the next friendly talk about keeping healthy and happy in this wonderful age. There's something relatively few people say to us elders. If we merely clean the outside of our bodies and leave toxins within, the familiar body odor will return, no matter how much soap we use. That is why, in order to feel completely fresh and delightful, we must first cleanse ourselves from within. The good news is that the approach is quite easy. Just like the regular habits prevalent in families across Kerala and Lucknow, the first step is to drink warm water the correct way. Our bodies gradually dry as we age, and we are unaware of it. Our skin becomes drier, our urine darkens, and waste items begin to gather under the skin, resulting in an unpleasant stench. I once asked Indira G, 72, from Madurai, how much water she drank every day. She shook her head and said, "I often forget, doctor. However, since following your instruction, I have been drinking a glass of warm water every morning before reading my slokas. Now, my skin is silky, and my granddaughter thinks I smell like a lemongrass." Just 5 to 6 glasses of warm water every day, spaced evenly from morning to evening, is sufficient to gently purify the body from within. Next, take a brief walk in the mild Indian sunlight, either early in the morning or just before dusk. There's no need for tough yoga or strenuous workout. A gentle 15 to 20-minute walk around your courtyard, beside a lake or down a familiar village path, is adequate to produce mild perspiration and wash away microorganisms on the skin. Suresh from Jaipur once lamented, "I feel tired after only a few steps." I grinned and added, "Walk 5 minutes today and 6 minutes tomorrow." And a week later, he addressed me proudly as Doctor, Sahib. I now walk for 20 minutes, feel stronger, and my body no longer smells like that. The next phase entails bathing correctly and soaking weekly. Too much hot water or heavily perfumed soap can dry out the skin and make it smell bad. Use lukewarm water, 38 to 40 degrees Celsius, and a light, unscented soap. Once a week, immerse your body for 15 to 20 minutes in warm water with a pinch of salt or a few drops of neem oil. It opens the pores and helps to suck out trash that has accumulated deep within the skin. Just these 3 basic steps, drinking warm water, walking pleasantly, and washing appropriately, will leave your body feeling clean and fresh from breath to skin. And then, dear elder, one day soon, you may discover your young grandchild, putting their head on your shoulder without hesitation, just as they did in the past. You know, dear senior, what we put into our bodies every day affects more than just our health. It softly determines whether our body emits a delicate, pleasant aroma or an unpleasant one. Many seniors have told me, Doctor Sahib, that even though I bathe twice a day in spray tar from Lucknow, my grandkids avoid sitting close. And in exchange, I gently inquire as to what you eat on a daily basis. The truth is that the aroma of aging does not simply exist on the skin. It lives in the intestines, the bloodstream, and even the breath. When we eat the correct nutrients, our bodies begin to detoxify their fragrance from within. Over time, the breath gets lighter, and the skin has a soft, natural aroma. It is beneficial to incorporate antioxidant-rich foods such as ripe tomatoes, red apples, purple grapes, red cabbage, buckwheat, or even a warm bowl of brown rice for lunch. These minerals delay aging, minimize body odor, and make the body feel as light and refreshing as a Ganga morning breeze. Prakashji, 79, from Pune once said, "Doctor, you told me to eat 1 apple and 1 tomato every day." 2 months later, my granddaughter sat in my lap again, her nose no longer furrowed. It seemed like a minor miracle. Garlic, despite its simple appearance, is a potent aid. If eaten carefully, 1 or 2 raw cloves in the morning with warm water can greatly reduce interior odor. If you don't like raw fruits, make a fresh smoothie in the morning with cucumber, tomato, and a few slices of pear. It's calming, easy to digest, and leaves the body smelling clean and natural without the need for any perfume. Many elderly people brush their teeth every morning and night without fail, but their breath still smells bad. The answer is shockingly simple. They wash their teeth. But forget the tongue. I once asked Lakshmiji, 73, of Kolkata, Auntie, if you had ever scraped your tongue. She chuckled and responded, I used to think it wasn't necessary. But now I do it every day, and I can tell my mouth feels fresher and my grandchildren aren't as shy. You see, the tongue is where the majority of bacteria accumulate, and a conventional toothbrush cannot clean it thoroughly. It's preferable to use a tongue scraper, which is affordable and readily available at any drugstore near your local market. It may be uncomfortable at first. However, after a few days, you will become accustomed to it and will no longer wish to skip it. In addition, after each meal, you can eat a small, sugar-free lozenge containing xylitol or a few thin slices of fresh ginger. This promotes salivation, keeps the mouth moist, and softens the breath naturally. Let me also gently advise you to limit your intake of strong black tea, coffee, and alcoholic beverages. In several places of North India, I've met elderly gentlemen who drink 2 to 3 cups per day and still complain that I bathe frequently. Nonetheless, my family believes I smell strange. That's because coffee and alcohol dry out the body, diminish saliva, and produce a stronger interior stink that no perfume can hide. Finally, do not underestimate the value of fiber in your diet. Many older adults have constipation. When constipation lasts too long, toxins begin to reabsorb into the bloodstream and exit the body via sweat glands. I once encouraged Miraji, 77, to begin her day with a bowl of soft-cooked brown rice porridge and softly boiled vegetables. 2 weeks later, she called again and said, Dr. G, my stomach feels light. My granddaughter says I smell fresh now. Everything from tongue scraping to delicate eating habits to cutting back on strong tea is simple to implement. There is no additional expense for drugs, but it restores the intimacy, confidence, and warmth between you and your loved ones every day. I once visited Ramprasadji in Nagpur. His room was orderly and neat, but as soon as I stepped inside, there was a lingering, musty odor. Feeling humiliated, he said, Doctor, Sahib, I have grown old. Maybe my body simply smells now. But in reality, it was not age. It was the small habits that had gradually developed over the years. For example, laundry. Many elderly people prefer to wear the same clothes for 2 or 3 days, and bedsheets are only washed when visible stains appear. However, sweat, dead skin cells, and natural oils slowly adhere to clothes. After a few days, the fragrance becomes so strong that even the greatest Atta from Kanauji cannot disguise it. I encourage Ramprasadji to change his underwear every day and wear cotton clothing that absorbs perspiration, similar to the breezy cotton saris that many Gujarati women enjoy. Sleepwear, towels, and bed sheets should be laundered at least once each week, and if the sun is shining, drying them outside is preferable. Central India's sunlight is a natural antiseptic that no detergent can match. Sunitaji from Pune once informed me that cleaning bed sheets weekly was too tiring. However, once I got into the habit, my little grandson resumed jumping on my bed without turning up his nose as previously. What about the pillows and mattresses? Even if we wash the covers frequently, the stuffing within absorbs sweat and odors over time. If feasible, replace your pillow every 2 years, your mattress every 3 to 5 years, or expose them to the sun once a month. I also met Shankarji, 69, of Chennai, who wore the same shoes all week. My feet smell a lot, especially in the summer, he admitted. I told him to wash his socks every day, alternate between 2 pairs of shoes, and put baking soda in them at night. 2 weeks later, he called with excitement, saying that my feet no longer smell and that the carpet was still fresh. My family's quite relieved. One other thing, keep the room aired. Many elderly people prefer to keep their windows closed to avoid dust and cold winds. However, the most common cause of an old scent in a space is stale air. Simply opening a window for 10 minutes in the early morning and evening, like our grandmothers would do while boiling masala chai, can freshen up the entire home. So the old age scent you've come to expect as part of aging is actually the consequence of a variety of factors, including diminished dry mouth, sweating from certain foods, dirty clothes, and closed spaces. The good news is that everything can be changed. I previously created a simple routine for my older patients. Drink 6 glasses of warm water per day, similar to the ginger tea from the northern communities. Take a leisurely 15 to 20-minute walk around the temple in the morning sun, as Shamaji does in Jaipur. When bathing, concentrate on cleaning 3 essential areas: the neck, underarms, and groin. Eat fresh vegetables and juicy fruits, such as watermelon, tomatoes, and himachali apples. Scrape your tongue in the morning and chew sugar-free mint or clove after meals. Limit strong coffee and overly brewed tea. Change your clothes every day, and wash your bed sheets once a week. Wash your socks every day, sun-dry your shoes on a regular basis, and keep your windows open twice a day to let in some fresh air. If you follow this easy technique consistently for 1 month, you will notice something beautiful. Your grandchildren will sit closer together again rather than pulling away. Your breath will be lighter, your skin will be naturally scented, and you will feel loved, connected, and accepted in the same way that you did in the past. So today, you and I walked together on a modest trek, a quiet road to help the body feel lighter, the breath easier, and possibly to bring our loved ones closer again as they once were. You see, Dadaji, the stench of old age is nothing to be embarrassed about. It is only a subtle reminder, like the mellow morning bell from the village mandir, that our bodies require care. Not with haste or noise, but with a kind of calm, loving attentiveness. Sometimes just a warm glass of water after your morning puja, a complete wash like elders traditionally did in the Ganga, or simply opening a window to allow the evening breeze in May makes such a difference. Your body will feel rejuvenated, your mind will be more serene, and a grandchild may approach close, wrap their arms around you, and remark softly, "Daddy, you smell great today." If any of this has inspired you to make a tiny change, even if it is only one simple habit, please share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you believe this video will benefit another buddy your age, please help me spread the word by liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. I'm looking forward to meeting you again in the future video. May you be healthy, cherished, and surrounded by love every day.